G'day everyone, I'm out here crayfishing with Brett and Holly, but we're having a few issues. Where we're craying, we've got to throw the nets out and they're getting tangled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to doctor up this net to make it suitable for throwing out from the bank to make it less likely to get tangled. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Right, now the design of these drop nets is so that there's a big rim at the top and a smaller rim at the bottom, so that when you throw the nets in, they sit nice and flat on the bottom of the river. The meat's in the middle, the crayfish walk in.
Shut up!
Now this is a drop net. It's designed because you drop it in. The top hoop is always bigger than the bottom hoop, so that when it hits the water, it drops nice and flat. You cows, if you don't keep it down, you're going to end up as bait. Sorry, I've got some cows interrupting me here. So the design is that they sit flat, the crayfish walk in, we check the nets which pulls the sides up and traps the crayfish in the bottom. But when you throw them out, they're prone to getting tangled because the nets cross over and they tangle up around the rope. So in this video, I'm going to make it less likely or less prone to getting tangled. Now I've got a few distractions going on over here. If you'd like to just move on a little bit, that'd be great, thank you. So what I need to do is get the bottom rim out of the net. That's the first step. Okay, so I've got the hoop out. It wasn't as hard as I thought. These hoops have got a little rubber joiner. You can see there's one just there, but the bottom hoop is also tied in. You can see patches on this mesh here that are a bit thicker. That's because in 3 or 4 spots it's tied in as well as got the joiner and it's interwoven, and it was in a hell of a mess. Anyway, I've got rid of it. If I leave the net like that, that is going to be super tangled. Every time I throw it, the meat's probably going to end up sitting beside the net. So what I want to do is make that shorter. Now I've got a few holes, as you can see there's a couple of big holes here where I had to cut the cord at the start to get the net, to get it out. So what I want to do, I want to make that about that deep so that it's shallow enough. If I have it like that, that makes it shallow enough that when I throw it out, as long as it falls down, it can't possibly get tangled, but deep enough so that as I'm lifting it, the crayfish don't get out. So I'll hold that there and I'll tie some kind of a knot in the bottom here of this string. This is a bit more awkward than it looks. So far, the net's pretty much complete. Now what I need to do is tie that off. I'm going to put some string around that just to prevent it from coming loose and coming undone. I'll wrap the string around above the knot. And that should prevent that from coming loose or coming undone. Now what I'm going to do, I can't pull these too tight. I'm going to cut that slack off. This task would be better suited to a filleting knife, something long and sharp, but which this is neither. Now I'll cut the green cord. Right. Now, can I have the camera for a sec, cameraman?
Thank you.
Brett's doing the camera work. If you have a look now, see if I can pull it down a little bit. I've sort of got this anchored over here. Alright, now I'll lower it down a bit. You can see there, the net's not very deep, but it's deep enough. I can tie the meat in the bottom. It will still sit nice and flat. Then when I lift it up, it will still drop a little bit in the centre. It's got about a 15 or 20 centimetre drop. Now, the upside to using a net like that is that I can throw it out and it will not get tangled. It can't possibly get tangled. So that's the good news. The bad news is when you pull it up, you have to pull it up very quick, because if it's on an angle, the crayfish might be able to swim out. Thankfully, Murray crays aren't the fastest swimming crustaceans in the water, so you're normally really good, normally pretty safe. The other downside is that the net is now much lighter. I've taken half of the weight of the net away. So when you're in a small waterway like this, where there's not very much current, that's okay. But if you're down in the Murray River or somewhere where there's a lot more current, that won't work as well. And just one last thing, this system will work with yabby nets as well. If you've got the 2-hooped yabby nets and you find they're getting tangled, that's the same thing. Do exactly the same thing. Make it smaller, make it shallower, easy to use from the bank, but you will lose yabbies if you don't pull them up quickly.